Joe, how you feeling right now?
Good. I feel real good, man. I'm pumped up. I mean, you know what? Here's my take on this, okay? This is a good football team. They won a stellar game last night. Rodgers is gone. That's it. It's over. You know, the entire offseason was about Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers. Well, now this football team, the dynamic has changed. And now this football team has to show, and I think they will, and they started showing it last night, that they're a pretty damn good team even without Aaron Rodgers. Now, obviously, the drop-off with Zach Wilson is, you know, I mean, it's dramatic. With that said, this is let's be honest, this is an elite defense, okay? They won the game last night. They did what the elite defenses do. They took the ball away, and they hit the quarterback. They sacked him 5 times. They turned it over 4 times. This team can run the ball. Got 2 terrific running backs. Breece Hall, unbelievable last night, Breece Hall. And obviously Dalvin Cook, he was solid too. You run the ball, you play conservative, you take shots downfield with this unbelievable wide receiver we got in Garrett Wilson. I think this team is good. I think this team can still win. Why not win the division?
Last night.
Why not?
Last night, when Rodgers goes down 4 plays in, I'm stunned. Like, I'm sitting in my bedroom, and I'm explaining it to my oldest son, who basically predicted it. Jet told me Aaron Rodgers is going to get hurt. That's great to hear from a 7-year-old. He's been well-trained. And I'm watching this first half in which the defense was not great, in which the offense couldn't get anything going. The play sounded dead. They're down 13-3. I'm like comatose. How are you feeling at that point? I didn't think they had a chance in hell to win that game last night.
You know what? At that point, I probably agree with you. I probably would agree with you that I didn't feel good at all about the situation. I mean, how could I? Things changed, though. I mean, the defense wasn't playing like we'd like them to, but they weren't playing terrible. I mean, Buffalo, they only put 13 points on the board, okay? So, I looked at it that way. They're down 10 points, but the defense took the game over in the second half. And like I said, give Wilson, say whatever you want about Wilson, okay? This kid walked into the building last night thinking, I'm not playing all year. He walks into the building thinking, I'm going to be sitting, I'll watch Rodgers play. 4 plays into it, you're the quarterback again. Now, did he play great? No. Now, the offensive line, I didn't think played. They run blocked well. I think the pass protection left a little bit to be desired yesterday. But you know what? He did what he had to do to win. He threw one bad pick to Milano, made a terrific play falling down to get the ball to Lazard for a big first down. He hit Wilson for another big first down right before the unbelievable catch by Garrett in the end zone. And that's, just get it to him. That's all you got to do is get it in this kid's vicinity.
There is a high likelihood, Joe, that the New York Jets are going to sign a backup quarterback.
Of course.
We now know it will be a backup quarterback after what Robert Saleh just told us, that they are committed to Zach Wilson. Who do you want that to be? And
I don't care.
Is it somebody who needs to potentially be able to replace Zach?
No, I don't think so, because you're not going to get anybody. Who am I getting? Who do you tell me? Carson Wentz? Is these kind of guys I want? Who do I want? Matt Ryan? You need a veteran guy. There's no question. You have to have a veteran backup, but that's what that guy is. That guy plays only in emergency. Only if, Wilson totally falls on his face, okay, and you have no choice. Or you put him in the game if Wilson's stinking it up in the first half and you feel you need to make a switch, you go do it. I mean, that's how I feel about it. But Wilson, look, he's the quarterback going forward. And there's a big thing at work that was not here last year, all right? And that's Rodgers. Rodgers' value to this team is not going to just be, okay, well, he's done for the year. We'll see him. Hopefully we see him next year.
By the way,
he's going to tutor this kid, Tiki. Let's be real about it.
He has been, but do you think he hangs around? That's an interesting question. I have no idea the answer.
Do I think Rodgers comes back next year?
No. I don't think so. I think he retires. I don't think he's going to play next year.
Okay,
we'll see. Does he hang around the Jets this season? Is he in Florham Park helping Zach Wilson become the quarterback that this team needs in order to win? Do you think that happens?
Well, here's what I think. Here's why I think it does. Because everything he's done since he came to the Jets has been about the Jets. Everything has, okay? Even taking a little less money, whatever the situation. Well, everything he's done has been about winning with this football team. And I don't see, and I could be wrong, I don't know. I mean, I don't see him abandoning it now. I just don't see that happening. And I think he's going to be around to help this kid. I really do.
He has done. I mean, Joe's right. Since the moment he's gotten here, I know his legacy here is so weird because he played 4 freaking plays And who knows if he ever plays again? I mean, there's a lot of
circumstances. Who knows? He might retire. There's no question.
He might retire, or Zach Wilson may actually turn into the guy we always dreamt he'd turn into.
I guess it's possible. It is possible. It's not, it's not beyond the realm of possibility.
But Aaron Rodgers, to Joe's point, has done everything the Jets have asked him to do perfectly.
Yes.
He has defied what his reputation has been. So I almost expect, just because Aaron's been on his best behavior, that he's in that locker room giving a pep talk to this team, basically saying, you know what? Go win a championship. That trophy is still lonely. Yeah. Go do it, and I know you guys can. Right. I almost expect Aaron to do that.
I mean, if he does do that, look, it's already changed. I don't know if it's a PR agency, if it's a change of heart, it's just a new space giving him different love for the world. I have no idea. But he doesn't feel like the guy that we had the opinion about when he was so far out in Green Bay. But if he stays and becomes basically a coach, because that's what it felt like, watching Hard Knocks, just seeing the, what was it, the One Jet Way, whatever the show was.
Mm-hmm. Like One Jet Way.
Yep, seeing all that stuff. It felt like Aaron Rodgers was more coach than he was preparing for the season for Zach Wilson. It was like he was tutoring the kid and had a real affinity for him. If I see him actually hanging around, like being that guy for Zach Wilson, it will fully change my opinion on Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I'll tell you this too, Tiki. I really believe this. I think this guy is look. He's not. I don't see Aaron Rodgers saying, "I'm going out like this." I think if this team shows that they're close, okay, if they play, let's say they win a division, let's say they make the playoffs this year, what I think is still certainly in play, okay, but he knows, hey, I'm the missing link now to put this team over the top.
Yeah, but hold on, Joe.
If they get that far next year,
but if they get that far, and that means Zach Wilson's had a pretty good season.
Yeah, okay.
So do you actually want Aaron Rodgers to be that guy?
It depends.
I mean, I guess it depends.
Yeah.
I guess it does. Well, let me say this, Teak, okay? Let's say, and I've seen this in the past. I'll give you an example. I mean, I know it's 100 years ago, but Bob Greasy goes out and breaks his leg in Week 4 of the undefeated Dolphin season. Mm-hmm. Earl Morrall comes in, plays the entire year. They get to the AFC Championship game after they won a divisional round playoff game against Cleveland. They get to the AFC Championship game, and Shula at halftime says, he goes to Morrall, he says, "Look, Greasy's playing now." What if something like that happened? Yeah. That's not crazy to say.
No,
I mean, who knows? So I don't give up on Rodgers, playing with this team at some point.
Because also, there's a circumstance, and I think we saw this in a way in 9 and 10, where the Jets got to back-to-back championship games on the back of an elite defense, and quite frankly, I think this defense is better.
No question, better.
Which is scary.
The front seven is better than that team.
No doubt.
Maybe Revis and Cromartie are still better than Sauce and Reed. I don't know. But they're getting there. But the front seven is better.
And you know what else this defense has already shown? Because this used to drive us nuts back in the day. That defense would always come up small in a big spot.
Yep.
I saw this defense last night, and the 50-yard field goal on that final drive, I thought they did a hell of a job. They held them to a 50-yard field goal that bounced in, essentially.
That doinked in.
That defense stepped up when it needed to.
And then stopped them. And how about the stop in overtime, 3 and out overtime, to set up the game-winning punt return?
No doubt.
So I'm pumped with this defense, brother. I mean, Quinn and Williams, the two Williams brothers, how good are these guys? Were all over the field last night. Quincy Williams, just one of the most underrated linebackers in football. This guy. Does
this change? Because this is the crap I'm getting from some Jet fans and Giant fans, that you went from being a Super Bowl team to now maybe they're a playoff team. How does this change?
I don't. You know what? I'm not worried. I think it almost lessens the pressure a little bit. To be honest with you,
definitely does.
It takes a lot of the pressure off them. The bullseye now is not on their back like it was, and this team can now go out and play, loose football. Like I said, bro, show everybody, hey, you know what? We don't need Aaron Rodgers to win here. We're a damn good team. And like you said, you play ground and pound. You got to love Breece Hall. I mean, Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook, man, that's a hell of a 1-2 punch. Zach's got to become a game manager. He's got to take shots. He's got to be Sanchez. I mean, pretty much to me, that's what he needs to be. He's got to play like Sanchez did, back for Rex Ryan. Don't turn the ball over. Play smart, run the ball, play conservative, let the defense win the game. That's how they got to play, and I think they can win like that.
It'll be interesting once Breece Hall fully gets healthy.
That's right.
I guess he's fully healthy, but he was on somewhat of a pitch count last night.
Seemed that way.
It did, because
he broke that last year, Tiki, before he got hurt. That 83-yard run, he would have been to the house last year.
Oh, well, hold on. Just real quick on that 83-yard run. I love Garrett Wilson. I love him. But the only way big plays go to the house is if wide receivers block. the fact that he was throwing up the touchdown
sign, he was doing that.
Right?
He did.
In the corner that ends up catching Breece Hall is right beside him. Yeah. I'm like, forget celebrating. Block the damn dude.
Yeah. Look, I'm not going to kill Wilson for that. Wilson made the defense, the offensive play of the game.
Yes,
so, you know.
True, but Joe, they didn't score a touchdown on that drive.
No, they didn't.
They should have.
No, you're right. Of course they should have.
You're right.
Sure. Celebrate when your boy's in the end zone.
No, you're right.
No, you're not wrong.
That's my point.
But the idea of a fully healthy Breece Hall and a Dalvin Cook who barely was able to practice, that 1-2 punch, that's where this team can be better than 9 and 10.
It's not even about that. So at the end of the game, when they're trying to run the clock, and I give Robert Saleh so much credit for going forward on fourth down.
No doubt.
Right?
No doubt
it's
about
fourth and inches.
You had to.
You had to because you can't kick the field goal there and give them the ball back with 2 minutes.
And they actually did a quarterback sneak. What a concept.
That's right. That's right. But the play before, it's 3rd and 1. They take Breece Hall out, who is heavy. He's got those
went to Dalvin Cook on 3rd and 1. Yep.
I questioned it because the one thing I've noticed with Breece Hall is that the initial contact doesn't bother him. He's not thinking about it, right? He's looking past whoever is supposed to hit him first. It's the same. It's why he broke that 83-yarder, because Tre'Davious White is the only defender that has a shot at him. He looks at him and is like, you're going to make a business decision, and it's not going to be to hit me. And he ran right through him, and he goes 83 yards, right? And on that 3rd and 1, I wanted Breece Hall in the game because I know he's getting the one.
Right.
Dalvin Cook is a little bit lighter in the ass, doesn't hit it the same way, right? That was the only question I had at the end of the game as a play calling situation. But in theory, that combination is going to be special. I just want him off his bitch clock because in moments like that, I don't want them to be going, all right, you got up to your 14 touches today. Dalvin, get in there.
Right.
Like there's certain moments that command Breece Hall being in the game.
By the way, I got to say this too because I'm so ticked off with this. And it was good to see Saleh get mad at the officials about it. Zach Wilson gets hit in the head, okay? And John Parry, the ridiculous, these guys, I can't stand them. These guys are stealing money. We need these rules guys, okay? So John Parry comes on, gets hit in the head, pushes his head back off the helmet. Oh, well, it wasn't really meant to be. What are you talking about? It's roughing the passer. Where's the call? They didn't get one roughing the passer call last year, and now it's an extra one that we didn't get. And it was good to see Saleh getting ticked off about it.
Did you hear, by the way, what was said right after the game, after the punt return for a touchdown on TV by the rules expert? Are you aware of this?
Oh, yeah, no, about the illegal block. Of course.
I heard it. That the game has an asterisk.
Got to put an asterisk on it. I did hear him say that. I don't want to hear it. You know how many times we've gotten hosed over the years? You know what? Too bad we had it coming. These guys, like I said, whether it's Parry, whether it's Sterator, whether it's Pereira, whether it's Blandino, who the hell needs them, okay?
Sterator's my guy. I like him. He's good.
Okay, great. So tell Sterator, tell him Benigno says go back to the college basketball and go ruin some college basketball games. Give me a freaking, I'm so tired of these rules guys. Please, don't even get me started.
We're talking to the great Joe Benigno, longtime partner for 14 years. He'll be with Tiki and I after every Jet game. I know that naturally.
By the way, is that Mo Lewis? What do you got? What's that jersey?
I'm wearing a
Mo
Lewis jersey because he was a very good Jet, as you certainly know.
Of course.
He gets disrespected because he made a football play because of the Brady stuff.
Right.
And I hope that many years from now, when we talk about this Monday night game, we talk about the emergence of Zach Wilson. Yeah. We talk about how Zach became the guy, and wow, Aaron Rodgers got hurt 4 snaps in. We were all devastated.
Are you going to buy a Leonard Floyd jersey? If it happens, that's who sacked Aaron Rodgers.
Right. I'm just hoping that history, not that it's the same, but that this leads to some kind of great because none of us know. Like, we think we know about Zach. I think he stinks. I think that.
Yeah, I know. I heard Sal talking about this and everybody else. Zach was failed. Mike LaFleur was just not the guy.
I agree, but now Mike
LaFleur was terrible. Yeah, no question.
I agree with that.
This guy's bad. Well, you got 2 offensive coordinators. You got Hackett and you got Aaron.
That's right.
As far as I'm concerned.
Do you agree? Because we always think back to history, and obviously Vinny tearing his Achilles and everything in 1999.
Right.
The reason to me this feels so different is what happened that day. We lost.
Yeah.
We lost the Tom Tupa, Rick Myra crap.
Right.
The 1-6 start. I think it turned into.
Yeah, because Bill stayed with Rick Meyer. Well, he couldn't wait to go to Ray Lucas in that game against Detroit in the '97. Right. He couldn't wait. But then he waits 7 weeks to go to Lewis with that absolute stiff Rick Meyer, who was one of the stiffest quarterbacks that ever played. Number 2 pick in the draft. What a disaster. Okay, just because he went to Notre Dame, they all thought, Joe Montana. Okay, hello. Anyway, right? Terrible. Anyway, and when Lucas takes over, they go 7-2. They wound up going 8-8 that year.
And it was too late. This feels different because they won yesterday.
They won the game, and they won it. And I'm telling you, bro, you know me. I've seen it all since 1965. This is one of the gutsiest wins I ever remember this team having.
Amen.
They were dead in the water at 13-3 starting that second half, and for them to get off the mat and win this game the way they did. I mean, I understand the injury to Rodgers, no doubt, but you got to feel good about that. You really do.
I do. I've had a tough. The problem I've had today, Joe, is there are moments in which I think about, I can't believe this freaking guy got hurt.
Right.
I can't believe we're not going to get that Hall of Fame quarterback that gives us that chance against other elite level quarterbacks. But then the other part of me remembers there's only 17 games, and that win last night was as good of a win as this franchise has arguably had since the game in New England in the postseason.
Yeah. Bro, there's no reason they can't win this division. I'm sorry. I know that Miami, Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill, they lit up the paperweight San Diego Chargers because that's what they are with that overrated quarterback they got and that terrible head coach. So, we can talk about them. Look, Bill is always going to be tough as long as he's there in New England. Let's be honest. They're always going to be a tough team. Thankfully, the Eagles were able to hold them off there the other day. Look, we can beat Buffalo. We should have beat them twice last year. We beat them again last night. There's no reason they can't win this division, bro. None. Even with the injury to Rodgers, that this team can't go out and win maybe 10 or 11 games. I think they can. I really do.
Yeah, the fortunate thing is teams that win are made in so many different ways. We feel like there's got to be a formula.
Right.
I think, yes, it matters if you have an elite level quarterback. It helps.
Of course.
It helps a lot. But there are other ways to win in the NFL. And running the football and having a great defense, that's an old school way to do it. But that's how the Jets are set up.
Ground and pound. Let me just tell you, I texted the coach today, and I went through this whole thing, how positive. I think he must be flipping out that I'm so positive. And I said, Coach, 2 words, ground and pound.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the formula.
And this team can win. That's what they got to do.
You've been to many games at MetLife, the old Giant Stadium. Was that like one of the loudest you heard last night?
It was extremely loud. I mean, the place was crazy. There's no doubt about it. I mean, when Rodgers comes out with the flag and all of that.
Yeah.
But it was almost like a funeral for a while too. So, give this team credit. Like I said, the defense last night. I don't know what was said at halftime by Saleh or Jeff Ulbrich or Hackett, whatever was said by anybody. They made rarely did we see adjustments in the last number of years. I don't care who the coach is. Well, they made them last night, and they came out and they played big time defense in the second half to win the game. And the turnovers I've yelled about. Bro, do you realize? They forced 2 turnovers in the last 8 games last year.
Yes.
They had double that last night.
Yes.
Yeah.
And big play, Whitehead, the big play by Clemens on forcing the fumble, Quinnen Williams recovering it. I mean, you can't say. I mean, what can you say? That was a great win last night, and I'm pumped. Let's go beat Dallas. Run the ball on Dallas. They got they got a terrific defense. There's no doubt they're going to put pressure on, but the Jets got to run the ball. And I don't love Dallas's offense. Am I supposed to think that Dallas is going to put up 40 on our defense? Come on.
Well, it's funny,
Let's
Joe.
be real.
I was told by a friend of ours, a guy that we both like. Like, we like this guy.
Okay.
His name is Thomas Lugauer. We love Loogie. Love Loogie.
Okay. Right.
I was told by him our season's over. That's what I was told. He told it to me about 30 minutes ago. He said, Evan, your season, he said to Joe, too. He basically said Joe's name. You weren't even here. Our season is over. That's what he told me.
Okay, well, he's gonna find out that is not the case. This is a good football team.
In fairness to Loogie and Morash,
there's no fairness to either of them.
They're Giant fans, I get it.
Hold on, they're talking about their Super Bowl aspiration.
But I'm not, you know what, though, Teak? I'm not worried about the Super Bowl now. I want to win. You know what? They're in a situation where they can, like I said, they can win a division. You get me 10 wins. You get me 11 wins. You
Joe,
win a division,
I agree with you.
Playoffs. Let's go.
It's almost more fulfilling when the expectation is not the Super Bowl, and then you happen to get there.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It feels like you've earned it, as opposed to it's been handed to you. Not that anything is ever handed to you in this sport, but still.
This is a franchise that has had how many winning seasons in the last decade?
Yeah.
Okay?
What is it, 12? They have not made the postseason?
One winning season in a year in which they choked down the stretch. Thank you, Todd Bowles.
10-6.
Right. So this is a franchise that's had one winning season. It's the longest playoff drought in sports. I can't have the mentality of, well, if they don't win the Super Bowl, the season's a disaster.
Mm-hmm. No,
how
not
about
at all.
a playoff game?
Yeah. Like I said, bro, win the division. They can win it. This division, this division isn't insurmountable. Let's go. I mean, like I said, they already got a solid division win behind them. Buffalo, by the way, Josh Allen, when are we going to start telling it like it is about this guy's no Patrick Mahomes. This guy's no Joe Burrow. I mean, he's a turnover machine. He made some bad throws last night. He that big fumble. I'm sick and tired of hearing how damn good Josh Allen is. I mean, let's call it like it is, all right?
And look what this defense has done to him in the last 3 games.
Right.
13 sacks, 5 interceptions.
Should have won both games last year. Mosley jumped offside in that 4th down. Mike White got destroyed in that game by Milano. No roughing the passer.
I got a name, by the way, of who the Jets have reached out to. It was our first veteran quarterback that they've reached out to. Chad Henne.
Chad Henne.
No, but you know what's funny?
He's not terrible. He had a big play. Last year in the playoffs, he came up big for Kansas City when Mahomes got hurt.
I agree. He fits what you're describing, which is a guy who's not replacing Zach.
And he knows Nate because he was with him down there in Jacksonville.
Right. And a guy who fills in if, briefly, like we saw with Mahomes getting hurt, can come in and make some plays. Like, he's not a threat to replace Zach Wilson, which is maybe what Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas want. Let's be honest.
No, I think they do. Now, let me tell you right now, if Chad Henne's the guy, bring him in. I'm good with that. I'm good with it.
We shall see. All right, Joe. Great talking to you, my friend.
Guys, all the love.
Appreciate you, Joe.
Appreciate it.
Got it. I'll talk to you soon.
The great Joe Benigno after every Jet game. So, for example, they play Sunday against Dallas, 4:25. He'll join us on Monday at 4 o'clock. There's a lot of primetime games this year, so sometimes it's on a Friday, sometimes it's on a Tuesday. But Joe is probably even more optimistic than me. And I thought I was optimistic today. See, that's the bad rap that Benigno always got. He's so negative. No. When things are going well, he's not so negative. He's not. I'll never forget walking into Indianapolis before that AFC Championship game after the 2009 season. I didn't feel this way. He did. He said, we're going to win this game. We're going to beat the Colts, and we're going to win the AFC title. And I was a little shaky about it. So sometimes he's a confident guy.
I mean,
and does that offend you, Sean?
No.
Oh, no.
I love
Jet
Joe.
Fans happy. Oh.
Be happy. I love Joe. But let's just be real. A month ago, we're at Jet training camp with Joe, and Joe uttered these words. Bro, if they don't win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, they're never winning. And a month later, we just got these words. Hey, they bring in Chad Henne. That's good with me, bro. I mean, what a swing here.
Because the world changed.
But it's a resetting of the expectation.
I get it.
That's okay. You can do that.
I get it.
But if you lost last night, it would be a totally different song being sung.
Totally.
So one game changes everything?
Yeah, there's only 17 of them.
I just think that this playoff drought has
when
gone
when there's only one game to evaluate, yes, one game makes a difference.
And when the one game is against a division rival that supposedly is a Super Bowl favorite or was a Super Bowl favorite.
You should be pumped up about it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for permission. I appreciate it.
But
thank you.
You're welcome.
But this playoff drought has gone on and on and on so long, you don't want to be a mockery anymore, that I think this desperation to end it is clouding your sights on what's best for this franchise long term.
Listen to me carefully. Last year, and I respected it and I defended you, you freaked out over a win in week 1 because you were so excited to win an opener. Remember that?
But that was different.
Why is that? Why the hell is that?
Because Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt.
No. It's not even about Aaron Rodgers. It's about the culture that the Giants lacked for years. And you knew that it was a potential from what we saw in the preseason with the Giants. This is last year, not this year, a year ago. And then to see it actually happen even if we would have won 4 games last year, you knew the culture was different.
Well, guess what?
And so it was a success.
Okay, well, being down by 10 points and dead in the water when your new franchise quarterback tears an Achilles and a loud stadium becomes a funeral and you come back against the big bad Buffalo Bills, that's kind of big.
Yeah, the only thing I would change is not franchise quarterback, mercenary quarterback. Mercenary quarterback. Let's get it right.
It's funny. I've turned on all my mercenaries, all 5 of them. You know who they are? right now we got compassion for Aaron Rodgers. Nobody's turned on him.
No,
we
not
feel
at all.
bad for him.
I do
You
wonder,
still got to
though.
call him what he is.
Right. But Joe brought it up there, and I do wonder if this guy's in Iceland in 4 weeks and nowhere near the Jet facility, will the Jet fans turn if Zach Wilson's struggling and he's not there?
I think
Yes.
he'll be forgotten, to be honest with you.
But wouldn't you have a little
honestly,
anger, like you're not around this guy tutoring him after all the Jet stuff?
I think he'll just be an afterthought. Honest, I swear, if he's not around and we don't see him, there's no presence.
Yeah.
And we should talk about this, what happens to Aaron Rodgers going forward. But if he's just not a piece of this story at all, other than what we saw in Hard Knocks and the early part of the season, Jet fans aren't going to talk about him.
Yeah, what I wonder about is, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if Aaron Rodgers comes out in a couple of days and says, I'm done. Like, as much fun as I had, this is a major injury. It's
Complete
a lot to
tear,
come
by the
back
way.
from. It's
not partial, complete.
I'm going to be 40 years old. I'm out. I don't know how we're all going to feel about him. Like, where does he live in the pantheon of mercenaries?
Indifference.
Is it just indifference?
I think
kind of like Justin Verlander is looked at with indifference. Like, no one hates Justin
It's the same.
Verlander.
And Justin
It's just-
Verlander did some good things.
he did.
Despite missing some time early. He did. I mean, his last start was pretty fantastic.
Well, he did more than Aaron Rodgers ever did.
It becomes the coolest throwback jersey of all time.
Remember when? No, I don't remember that. Kids won't remember it.
Oh, trust me, we'll remember it. My son.
No, I'm talking about kids. Like, kids won't remember it.
They'll remember watching him get
Do you
hurt.
think Jet, who's 7 now?
Yes.
Jet 7, just turned 7 yesterday. Happy
Yes.
belated.
Yeah,
even though he said yesterday.
What a birthday
But
present.
he's 7. So when he's 27,
Yes.
and let's say that Zach is good. So,
Okay.
so there's a reason to not pine for Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So Zach has a good season. So 20 years from now, do you
Yes.
think he's saying, oh, I remember when Aaron Rodgers was here for...
Yes. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you, it's the same reason. I was talking to Brandon before the show. His son stayed up for the entire game, and his son's a couple of years older than mine. Jet was up for a quarter. I mean, he said I couldn't keep him up long. Brandon's son and my son, you damn right, they will remember everything about Week 1, 2023.